need to put like a tag in there. So you're talking about that. Yeah, we got to do something about the ball this year. Well, all the way back over to here. That one's putting something in here. Okay. Okay, can everybody rise? Please remove your hat. Pledge of allegiance. So silence your cell phones. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I would like to bring this meeting to order. If we could get a roll call, please.
Bushwick.
Here.
McFarland.
Here.
Leeds.
Here.
Reason here. Thorne.
Here.
Walsh. Here. Cruz.
Here. Okay. Before I start the meeting, let me put this on here. Before I start the meeting, I'd like to acknowledge with a heavy heart that a former board member of Green Charter Township passed away on, I believe it's Friday. Yeah, and it was Gary Todd, and the board would like to take a moment of silence to acknowledge his many years of service to the community and offer our condolences to his family and friends. And Gary did a ton of work here at the township for like 30 plus years. And I was really shocked to hear what had happened. It's very tragic, and I'd like to take a moment of silence, please. Okay, thank you. Hopefully Gary and his friend and his family are Gary's family is doing okay. If anybody cares anything, if they need anything, please have them reach out to us. We'll do what we can. Thank you. All right. That would bring us up to our first public comment for tonight. Anybody would like to stand up and give the first public comment?
Larry Finkfiner, 22 Monroe Road, Paris. To anybody here, on April 19th, we'll be doing community Easter for the kids. We're planning it at 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. We have multiple things for the children with prizes, egg hunts, photos of the Easter Bunny, planting seeds. We are still looking for anybody that wishes to sponsor. We keep it a pretty tight budget, but we are looking at about $1,300 to do this. So if anybody wants to donate, we would appreciate it. And all of it's going towards items for the kids for the event. That's it.
Larry said April 19th?
April 19th.
April 19th.
And it will be held down here at the Wacosta County Park by the fish ponds.
Okay. Thank you.
Next person, anybody else for public comment? Want to give an administrative report?
Yep. Hi everyone, Jeff Jackson, Wacosta County Commissioner for the district. A couple new things you'll notice at the courthouse, there's going to be more heightened security. Everything's going to be put in place hopefully here with that month. Employees are now going to have a fob instead of a key, so everything can be tracked. So you'll notice all those security measures taking place over the next 30 days. truck. They ended up buying a 2024 Street by local. So we're trying our best to buy local.
Great.
Other than that, not too much going on with the sheriff's department. Sheriff's department's looking at doing body cams. We're one of the very few counties that do not have them. All they have is a car cam, so we're looking into prices on that, and then their tasers are also over time.
Jeff, is your microphone here now? Because I can't hear you.
Here you go.
How's that?
There we go.
Second volleyball, you know.
Did you talk about the courthouse security?
Yeah, when we heightened security at the Costa County Courthouse at the east end, and then at the north end, there's going to be a little bit of revision there where they walk through a metal detector. So they're trying to keep that open, so everybody that walks through there, they can go through a metal detector. And then on the east end, there's no security right now for the second floor, which all the judges have had multiple complaints over the years by not being secure up there. And if anybody knows, that friend of the court is also up on the second floor. So anybody can walk into that building and go up to the second floor and wreak havoc and no different. So there'll be a metal detector at that end, also a security officer at that end. All employees will have fobs to get in and out of the door. And then what that's going to do is open up the south entrance for employees only. Of course, there'll be alarms, so when you go out there, it'll do an alarm if you don't pop out. So that's a good way to track people coming and going and make sure there's accountability and security in the building, throughout the whole building. Costa County Sheriff's Department is looking at replacing their tasers because their tasers are over 10 years old. And they're also looking at trying to get body cams because we're one of the very few counties left in the state of Michigan that doesn't have any body cams. So he's also looking into that. The maintenance guy has I think it's a 2001 Dodge that burns a lot of oil. So they're looking at just repurposing that truck somewhere else. And they put in the 2025 budget to buy a new vehicle. Well, we found a local vehicle, but it's a 2024, but it's still brand new. So we're allowed to get that from Baker Auto Group and buy local. So we're going to try more buying local here with us in charge. So other than that, pretty much nothing new. I am still looking into the extra brine for Green Township and Grand Township. Okay. I've gotten zero response, but I know the fellow had already tracked it down, so.
Well, I appreciate it.
That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, John. All right. Any others for public comment? Brandy?
Just real quick.
Sure.
I just want to remind everybody, the public, and I can't speak to them, but the MEDC, Michigan Economic Development Corporation meetings are public. They can attend. You can make a public comment. I urge our community to start paying attention and attend those and give public comment at the executive committee meetings and also at the Michigan Strategic Fund Board meetings. And then to follow up with what Larry said about the Easter event, there is also for anybody that would be willing or would like to even donate candy, there's a box at Mr. C's party store, like small candy for egg fillers. And also I just want to remind the community about the initiative, the committee that's been started to save the ponds at the Paris Park. As we all know, they've deteriorated a little bit, and the back ponds are now closed and the front ponds are only open. Just asking to maybe be active on the Facebook page and to just tell a friend. There's flyers going around the community, and just to tell everybody about it if we can possibly. Thank you.
Brandon, can you leave some of those here? Do you have some extras, maybe on that stool?
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, any other public comment? That brings us out of public comment, the first one anyways. Board, before we go forward, I would like to just make a comment. I think I'm gonna, from here on out, probably should move that podium over to the side here, just so that they're addressing. If somebody stands up at the podium, they don't have to try to reach around to the back or to look backwards. They can look at us. It's kind of like the county does it. The county's got it off on the side, so I think I'm going forward so that people can hear a little bit better too. I mean, we have it mic'd, but it's still nice to be able to see somebody and not look at their back. So, anyways, moving on. Additions to the agenda. We have to approve Tom Streeter as ground superintendent. Tom has decided he was going to step up and help us out and patrol the grounds. Thank you very much, Tom. You know, we approached him a couple different times, but now he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So I would like to bring that forward to the board to get Tom approved as ground superintendent. I'd like a motion to approve him. Looking for a motion.
So moved, Jason.
Okay, got one from Ross.
I'll second.
Okay, open for discussion for Tom as far as ground superintendent.
No one else has stepped up. So
Nobody else has stepped up. I
please.
appreciate it because it's definitely going to help my end out, trying to run around and everything, and Corey for sure.
Will it be a salary or a hourly wage?
It's $400 a year, and then he would be paid hourly for any projects that he does, like maintenance, repair type stuff. So $15 an hour.
Sounds reasonable to me?
Okay.
Tom have any comments?
Yeah, Tom, you want to make a comment? Probably wants to make all kinds of comments.
I'm sure you still want to be
There you go. Okay, can I get a vote to approve Tom Streeter as the ground superintendent?
Means
Yes.
Cushway,
Yes.
McFarland,
Yes.
Rebo, yes, Thorne,
Yes.
Walsh, Prue.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Welcome aboard, Tom. Appreciate it. Friends laughing. So yeah, there we go. Okay. Next order of business is correspondence. We don't have anything in correspondence. We don't have anything to share right now either. Do you have anything for correspondence? No. Anybody else? Okay. So one thing in correspondence, that brings us to our consent agenda. Approving meeting minutes, the February Treasurer's Report, Sewer Department Report, Legislative Report, Planning and Zoning Report, and the Sheriff's Report. Do you want to give a Treasurer's Report by chance or no? Okay, you can. All right, here you go. It's on everybody's mind.
Okay, so we opened our sewer CD, and that has $127,616.92. Our regular working sewer account has $161,015.22. Our general fund has $606,329.80. And our lift station, $247,050.16.
Okay. Thank you. And then, Brent, I don't know if you want to give us...
I can give you a quick rundown.
Yeah, you want to give me a quick rundown? Thanks. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We'll sort of do this from the side here, so we're good.
All right, there we go.
So the Planning Commission, there hasn't been any zoning activity during the month of February. We are starting up again now. I had a couple of requests already in the month of March, so zoning is starting to pick up. But the Planning Commission actually met tonight here before this meeting, and we're working on getting set up to do master planning, and we've set up 2 task forces right now to have listening sessions on April 1st, May 1st, and June 2nd at various times. I think one set of times is from noon until 2, and the other is from 6 o'clock until whatever in the evening. Probably, I would say no later than 9, but probably 6 to 8 at a minimum. That's for any of the citizens and or business owners or anyone who has a vested interest in Green Township to come and let us know what you want our community to look like for the next 20 to 30 years. Next week, we have another regular meeting of the Planning Commission, and we're looking for citizens to also participate in those listening sessions. So, and if you know anyone who might be interested in participating along with our planning commissioners, they can get a hold of me by either calling the Township Hall or getting a hold of me at zoning@greentownship.org is my email address.
Okay. Well, thank you. Does the board have any questions for Brent at this time? Okay, no questions. I'll cover the Mecosta County Sheriff's Report. Traffic stops were 18. Traffic tickets, 2 were issued. Appearance tickets, 2. Property damage crashes, 9. Physical arrests, there was 1. No animal control, and the total complaints were 24. So they're keeping us as safe as they can possibly do here in Green Township, and we appreciate it. Thank you. So I would like to move to approve the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to do that?
So moved.
Okay, Jeff is the first.
Second.
Ross second. Any discussion on the consent agenda?
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess regarding the treasurer's report, I would like to commend Jillian for working with my request of a more accurate what's coming in and what's going out. I know she's learning a system that's new and trying to pull information from a system you're not familiar with. I know is probably tough, but she's working hard to get us this information, and I would like to thank her for that. So.
Yeah, thank you.
And I guess I did have one question on the list of checks, well, maybe 2.
Yep.
General fund check 16823. I guess I'm just not familiar with what election source is for $615.
Sure.
That's our contract
Yes.
with election source. That's our contract with election source. That's who we go through for the tabulators and all that. So
Okay.
Yeah.
it was just time to renew it.
Okay. I just wasn't familiar with that. I guess the next one we'll pick on Kelly, but I know, but you're a numbers guy, so you'll appreciate this. On your check number 16835, it says pension employee 80%. Does that mean 80% of your trustee wage?
That's correct. I'm contributing 80% of my wage to a pension plan.
Okay, so 80% of 230.33 is not 161.88. Unless my math is wrong.
Yeah, we'll look
There's
at
several per diem meetings there too, I think. So.
Right, and that's the next line down, $120, which 80%, it's more like 70%.
Let's make a request that Jillian look into
We're
that.
gonna look into that. So we'll keep going and make a note of that.
It's just that the math doesn't jive on those numbers.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Other than that, we're golden.
All right. Sounds good. Okay, is there any other conversation regarding consent agenda? Okay, can I go for a vote? Looking for a vote, please.
Storm.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Consent agenda.
Yes.
Needs.
Yes.
Bushwick.
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Walsh.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, thank you, board. We approved the consent agenda. Now it brings us into old business. 2025-26 budget. We passed it out, and we've been working on it since our last meeting. And I'd like to approve that budget. The board was presented with an updated version of all the stuff that the board requested to put in there. We were given, the boards had the budget a little bit, some time here to review or talk about it. I talked to a couple board members. If we do it again, when we do this again, if there is major changes, then we can have another meeting, sit down, and I also, relayed that, hey, this is a time where we can talk about it a little bit more if we need to before we go for a vote for approval. But it's always to remember, and I don't think that the Pioneer reported it really appropriately, the fact that this is a working budget and the numbers are not solid. And we were developing a budget, so there's a lot of stuff that was reported that was in the works. So just to make sure that the board understands, and everybody out there understands. Remember, budgets are a starting point for the board to operate, okay? And then that allows us to work off of something that's base numbers. So it will still continue to evolve throughout next year, and then we will fine tune it to whatever projects the township has for the township. So I hope that's reflected in the next detailed article that we have regarding Green Township's budget. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure. So anyways, what we did is we updated, and Dawn, I'd like to take a second here to tap Dawn Baker and give her a round of applause for the Rod and I, and really digging down to make sure that we have absolutely up and down, left and right straightened out this the budget reporting in the clerk's office, and from all our transitions from last year. So that is if anybody wants to really check it out, you can take any of the past history that's put on the budget here, and which always won't be provided, but it's out there. But you can take it and it will match up with anything the state has. So that was an extreme amount of work, digging into all of our files and numbers, and making sure everything jived with all the past meeting minutes that the old board, before we even got elected here from the recall, we're doing, and making sure that things were right and understood, especially when we go into an audit. So we are in very, very good shape between the treasurer's office and what kind of work they've been doing and putting in the extra time to make those numbers work really well, and getting that information over with Dawn, and Dawn straightening that out. So once again, thank you. Excellent job. Okay, it would just be nice if it was reported appropriately. That would be really good. All right, next. So I would like to get a motion together to approve the 2025-26 budget. Can I get a motion to do that? Okay, Jill, I got a Jill motion. Do I get a second? Open it up for discussion.
Second.
Okay, second, open up for discussion as far as any discussion regarding the 25-26, budget. Now obviously the heading.
Couple questions.
Okay, yep, sure.
On sewer budget, interest income and miscellaneous income, 2024 shows $400, then up to $5,000. Now it's expected to be back down to $400. Where did the $5,000 on those two line items come from?
Which line item are you looking at again?
The sewer.
What's the number?
Fourth one down.
Yeah, fourth and fifth line items.
664.
Interest, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So the previous year was $400, and then as of a few days ago, it was up to $5,000 for both lines. And now it's expected to be back down to $400 and $121 respectively.
All right.
Where does the two line items for $5,000 come from?
Just a second, making notes here. Well, good catch. I can't read off my cuff, say exactly. We're gonna have to dig back in the books and verify that. And see why we.
That's an income line item
Yeah, it's an income line item.
to the CD.
And that's, without saying anything, because I don't want to, but yeah, I'm thinking something around that
You
nature.
would look for an annual CD payout.
Like they had a good year of interest and then
And it was over, so it's, without knowing, and there needs to be a note in there, is what that's the way I noted. We need to put a
Well,
note
it
in
just
there.
kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me.
Sure does, yeah.
$5,000.
Times two.
Substantial, right? So, and the fact that it fluctuated. Yeah. So there needs to be some more notes put in here. Once again, we got to get down and do some more work on the sewer fund, make sure that everybody can see where the stuff comes from. I would like to, and I really would like to take a couple seconds I really wish that I would have ran off an old copy of the budget. I'm not saying that the predecessors did a poor job, but you can actually see the evolution of this budget now in reporting and being able to pick out exactly where revenues and expenses are coming from. For the most part, we've done as best we can to put the notes in and descriptions. So, once again, so we can stop those types of questions like where does this come from? Is it a CD or is it a CD? But, yeah. If you go online, you can see the old budgets, you can see the old budgets. Any other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
General fund, 101434, first page.
Specific trailer tax.
Trailer tax, pretty consistent, 1313, 1013. We're only expecting 300 for the trailer tax for 2025, 2026, or are we missing 1,000?
We're just requesting to keep our revenues, our expected revenues as low as we can. So that was one spot where we were pleasantly surprised when we saw that we had an extra $1,000 in there. As you can see, when you follow it over on October 24, there was an amendment because we had $1,300 in that account, at that time. Which then when we did the additional amendment on November 27th of last year, followed through. So to be on the safe side without inflating the revenues, there's some places that are a little bit lower in that that's the requested column, being that's
right.
what we're based off of. That's why we did it. So
Okay.
you just don't know.
Another one of those that sticks out.
Sure. No, that's great. It's fine. Thanks for the question, Scott. Good question.
Guess that's all I have for now.
Anything, Ross?
No, I do appreciate the data going back to 2017-18. It's helpful to look at trends,
Yeah.
and so that is very nice to have it that way. I appreciate that.
How about to my left? How does the lefties feel about it?
I don't have any questions.
Poor Kelly. Kelly's like, I'm not sitting here. All right. Well, okay, I would like to go for a vote then to approve the 2025-26 budget.
Walsh,
yes.
Meads,
Yes.
Cushwig,
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes?
Rico, yes. Thorne,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, I guess we've just approved our budget for the next fiscal year, and we will continue to work on it for next year. And keep on tuning in. Thank you very much for it. I appreciate all the work and all the input.
Jason, after the fact, with a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
It had been brought up by somebody last year, those two rather high things, and I think we talked after the meeting, they were probably the towers.
Yeah.
Where did they end up getting put?
So, okay, that's a pretty complex question. That's
Okay.
But There's, there are IT services with, Paul Quick, I believe, brought that up about IT service because it dropped so rapid, dropped heavy. We no longer have, we have contracted with Land Tech. And so Benny only comes as needed. So, if we're running, we don't ever get a charge.
No, there were those 2 real high charges those 2 years.
Oh.
In the budget before, and I don't see them there now.
Okay.
And we talked after, we thought they were an investment in the rails.
Yeah, those were tower investments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since we own the towers, so that's where it went.
Okay,
Yep.
thanks.
Sure. Okay. All right, moving on to another old business. Yeah, we can do this. Board in front of you, actually, it was in your packet for pickup. But we do have a few resolutions that we'd like to get to finish up the budget, the 2026 budget here. And the resolutions are basically pay scales. We have to approve them, each resolution individually. And yeah, and I'd rather not read them all off or be here all night if I have to read them all off. But what we've done is we have, in order to produce the numbers that you see in front of you, we went back to the 2023 resolution that was done before by the prior board. And once again, just to reiterate, we didn't raise any of the supervisor tag or the supervisor salary, or the clerk salary, or the treasurer salary. We didn't raise the trustees. But what we did is we ironed out the numbers, meaning that you'll see that they're rounded numbers so that it works out so it's not cents. There isn't cents at the end of the year, fractions of cents when we're trying to balance the books. So there may be a raise on 1 or 2 of them, and I know there are, but the raise is $1. And so it's just a matter of making sure that we're not fractional any longer on our salaries. So basically what you're looking at is the board hasn't raised salaries other than like a $2 raise or no more than $2 for the last 2 years because given the situation that the township is in and those types of things. So we basically went back, collected that data, rounded it up, and then we regurgitated it here to where it's basically the same. Now, you'll notice on the supervisor and clerk and the treasurer, we went back to taking some of the salary out of the sewer fund. That was recommended to us by Rod Taylor, and because there's times, like we all know, I'm down there working on the lift station. Corey has to field phone calls, and then Jillian is obviously collecting revenue for the township off of the station, so obviously she's going to pull off of that fund. So it was recommended that we revert back and take, split the salary from supervisor, some on the general fund, some on the sewer fund, clerk same, and treasurer same. So you'll notice that. So that would be resolution number 2025-1. Looking at resolution 2025-2. You'll see the pay salaries for each individual deputy clerk, treasurer, supervisor, election chairperson, inspectors, and if there is any work that's done on the lift station, whether it be casual and part-time labor or heavy maintenance labor, there's also ground supervisor and mileage, and what we pay for mileage. And that's mileage is based off the state. So what we've done is we went back to the meeting minutes once again, took the resolution from 2023, and then we basically put it all in, so we kept it. I mean, there were some things that the board did. We raised the rates for the clerk, the treasurer, deputy treasurer, I'm sorry, deputy clerk, deputy treasurer, deputy supervisor. That was done last year, so there wasn't any increase to be had here. It's just laid out a lot nicer and neater, so that you guys can see it and understand it a little bit better, so it's not hidden anywhere. Going to resolution 2025-3, this is a cemetery fees of Green Charter Township, so they, once again, were adjusted by the board earlier, And because prices went up for grave openings, snow plowing in case there's a burial during the winter time, cremation, those types of things. And so that's the adjusted pay schedule now for any burials that happen in any one of our cemeteries. Okay, a lot to talk about here. So Resolution 2025-4 is a sewer fund, casual and part-time labor and heavy labor, and I do have it broken down. It should be on your copy of the sewer fund and what exactly is casual labor and heavy labor. But I defined it. Take a look and see if it's on there, Scott. But if not, then we'll get that edited. But basically, what I identified casual and part-time labor is that, let's say if you have to run over to the lift station and you have to help with the meter or something like that, because that would be casual or part-time labor. And then heavy labor would be something where it was more of a mechanical thing, and that's where the pay scale would go up. Now this, once again, we just adopted this pay scale off the 2023 resolution from the prior board. I've been over there quite a bit this year, but I've not ever taken any kind of pay for that because I just don't think it's fair for the people. And if I'm there, I'll just do it. I don't want to charge the people that are on the sewer for that. We might get into a situation where we might have to because of whatever outside the contractor's pay. But for right now, that's the pay scale in case we have to get into that. But I'd rather just see the lift stations replaced than to take money out of the lift station's account. So those are the four resolutions that we got to approve, and then I'll go on to I have another resolution to approve right after that. But I would like to here we go. So I'd like to look for a motion to adopt resolution number 2025-1. Can I get a motion for that, please?
After the motions, will there be a chance for discussion again, Jason?
Yes. Is that a motion, Ross?
I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2025-1.
Okay. Any others?
Second.
Okay. Kelly and Scott, second. Open for discussion.
I'm just curious if the trustees got that big dollar raise you were talking about.
Shh, Kelly. No, nobody got a raise.
Nobody got a raise.
Jillian was telling me they were gonna massage some numbers so that we didn't have a half a penny at the end of it.
That's right. I think the trustees probably went up $3, something like that. I don't even think that. It wasn't very much at all.
$3 for the year.
Yeah, for the year.
Just want to clarify that.
For the year. All we did is take the full salary and round it up.
Or down. Some went up, some went down.
Someone up and someone down.
Some was only.
But probably not more than a couple of bucks each.
No.
Oh, no.
Some were like $1, some were not even that much.
Okay.
So it's just to get an even number.
Any further discussion on 25-1? Okay, if no other discussion, let's move for a vote.
Needs,
Yes?
Cushway,
Yes?
McFarland,
Yes.
Grebo, yes, Thorne,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes, okay. Motion carries. Resolution number 25-1 is adopted. Thank you, board. That brings us to 25-2. Can I get a motion for adoption? We got a motion.
Okay.
Yeah. So, can we get a motion for adoption on resolution 25-2?
A motion,
Jeff first.
25-2.
Jeff first. You gonna get a second?
I'll second that.
Second from Jillian. I feel like an auctioneer. Open up the discussion. Here we go.
Just a question, Jason.
Yes.
I guess I don't understand why we make a difference in the general fund and the sewer fund in the hourly for labor. One's 15, the other's 17.15, one's 23, the other one's 23.55. Is there a reason we don't just make them the same thing?
Okay. Come again here.
He's saying
Sewer versus.
Oh, sewer versus general?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just curious as if there was a reason why.
We followed what the prior board did. We just went ahead and figured we weren't gonna mess around with any of the pay. I mean, we could change it. You know, we can change it if the board so feels that that's the way to do it, and we can do that too. It's just we didn't wanna, you know.
I guess it just seems to me inconsistent because like, for the sewer fund, the part-time labor could be mowing and doing stuff over there and that, you know.
Yeah.
No, mowing should be in our
Oh, that's there now.
I personally feel like sewer is a little bit more complicated than fixing a fence post or something like that. That's just my opinion.
And that's where the heavy labor would come in, is like fixing any kind of physical stuff, fixing where they gotta run back and forth and get a post or whatever, and stuff like that.
I've helped Jason at the lift station and I would rather fix a fence post than do that again.
Can't argue that. Okay, and there's not enough of a difference, I was just curious, so.
We can.
No further question.
I think what I'll do is I'll make a note of that, and then just say, you know, see if we want to pursue, shorten that up so it's the same rate. I think it might be a little easier for everybody if it was, and you just report, but I'll make a note of it, and then we can always look at it later.
I guess particularly if the same person happens to end up doing both things.
Right.
Might be easier if they're just the same.
Oh, it would be. Yeah. Because what if Tom now we hire Tom, and Tom goes over there, you know, and we have to split his check 5 different ways or whatever, you know? Yeah, good point.
Rather than lower, I guess, I would make a recommendation that we just raise the general fund up to the same as the sewer fund.
But how's the other board feel about that? What do you think?
That's appropriate.
You think so? Okay. Kelly thinks it's all right.
I can work at McDonald's for $17.
Oh, I know. I know it's hard to cook. What say you, Jeff? Since I'm going down this way.
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a difference to raise it and keep it the same.
I think yeah, it should be the same thing as bottom line, yeah.
Just in case you want to get involved in it again, Scott. All right.
You never know.
You never know, exactly. Well, okay, so let's do this, and we can change it, and we can adopt the resolution 25-2 upon changing, making general fund and sewer the same pay rate. Right?
Does whoever made the motion, are they okay with that?
Are you okay with that?
Who made the motion?
You made the motion? Shelley made the motion?
I was second.
Jeff made the motion?
Second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So adopt it with the changes of the casual and part-time labor and the heavy maintenance labor to $17.15 and $23.55 to match the sewer fund.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good discussion, board. Thank you. Okay, can I get is there any other further discussion on these rates?
My question was on some of these items, it says up to a certain amount per year. If we're approaching that amount before the end, that would require the board to amend that amount. Looks like we're going to exceed that. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's like our safety net. So yeah. So as you can see, board, there's $9,000. We had a conversation about this yesterday. Pardon me. $9,000 deputy supervisor is budget for deputy supervisor. But what we did is, when we put once again, just to reiterate from before, when we took deputy clerk, treasurer, and supervisor, the deputy pays, we put them all together. And because the board was running the office differently, but we didn't want to increase those pots, right? So what we did is we figured, well, the deputy clerk is going to take 8 of that pot, and then the deputy treasurer is going to need more, and we discussed that with the last board that was here. So when Rob was on the board, we bolstered that, and there's still money left in the pot. So as a holding place, we put in deputy supervisor. So there's $9,000 in deputy supervisor. Doesn't mean I'm going to spend it. Probably won't. I was just talking to, we gotta get you deputized too yet. No, we got you all set. So, I mean, it depends exactly how many hours we put in here. So it's up to, and that's what that means. So hopefully we'll not hit those, we won't cross that threshold. But good question, thanks Jeff. Hopefully, does that make sense then? Yeah, okay. Any other further discussion on this resolution 25-2?
I'm just wondering about the board review. There's a $40 per diem meeting and after 2.5 hours for paid addition. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. If there's no other further discussion, let's move for a vote.
Thorne,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Fisher,
Yes.
McFarland,
Yes.
Meads.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Cruz.
Yes. The motion carries. We adopt 25-2. Thank you very much, board. That brings us to 25-3. Okay. So, can I get a motion to approve resolution 2025-3, the cemetery fees resolution?
I'll motion.
Okay, we got one motion. Corey, do we get a second?
Second.
Okay, Scott and...
Who wants it, Scott or Joe?
Scott can have
Okay. Open for discussion on resolution 25-3. Cemetery fees. Everything went up here, I can tell you that much. Everything went up considerably, but we were trying to get the cemetery fees caught up with regular.
I'm assuming the snow plowing 140 is per plow?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
only if someone chooses to have a burial during the winter and there's snow on the ground and the cemetery has to be plowed, we'll be plowing the cemetery for that burial.
There's also an additional charge for winter burial, but that's
Yes.
Yeah.
justified.
Yes.
Just asking a question, because recently we checked into it back to the township where my wife grew up. We were looking into it, and there was a different rate for township residents as opposed to non-township residents.
There is.
Correct.
Yeah.
We have not changed. We didn't do anything on here with that. It's 60 for a resident and 120 for a non-resident.
What is?
A plot. This is the same for everybody, but the plot.
That's my question.
Yeah,
This is the same for everybody?
Yeah. But
Okay.
the plots are different.
Okay.
It's like, what was it again? It's 60?
60 for
plot.
a resident
Resident.
and 120 for a non-resident.
Did everybody hear that out there? So, yeah. Okay, good.
I got another question.
Yeah.
Are there dates that define winter to and from dates?
No,
I don't see them here. I mean,
that's a good point, Kelly. We can.
we should probably tighten that up some.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe October to, March.
I feel like it's, because we had some decent days in November still, so I feel like December through, December through like.
We just need to decide. I agree with you.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scott? Any input on that? Picking dates?
I think
December through February.
I'm with Kelly, it needs to be something defined as what is winter.
Yeah.
Just because there's snow on the ground,
Right.
is it winter?
I'm thinking more along terms of the frost in the ground. That's what makes it difficult for a grave digger to dig a hole. If there's frost in the ground, it's almost impossible.
So it
It's
may
a manual
change every
pickaxe
year.
type. Pardon me?
So it could change every year though, then.
Yeah, but I mean, we should probably just have some dates that define when winter starts. and
What,
winter-
October 30th?
Yeah, that'd be a little early, I would think.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's hard to put a date on when there's frost on the ground.
Right.
And I guess the question then becomes, we've had some deaths in the family during the winter, and I don't know that it was the township as much as the funeral home that just said they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, the funeral home stores the body until it's appropriate.
Right, but I don't know who made the decision as to whether or not it was going to be done.
For us, it's Doug Morrow who digs the graves. I will ask him which we've had this come up a couple times recently, so. The family usually is like, we can go either way, we can either do it now or we can wait till spring.
And as far as,
So we leave, basically Doug makes a decision as to whether he's willing to dig it or not?
Depending on the weather, but it's really the family's decision. He'll do it if they want to do a winter burial. But for the most part, because it is quite a bit more expensive, people would rather wait till spring. And nobody wants to stand outside for a graveside service in a snowstorm.
so would the snow plowing charge be left alone? If there's snow on the ground, it needs to be plowed, it needs to be plowed regardless of when?
You would plow.
Well, if we decide when the dates are, that winter fees start and end, and I would think that if there's snow on the ground, it has to be plowed,
Yeah.
it would be taken care of.
I guess if we set dates and then choose to waive it if the ground is not frozen, we can always waive it. But if we set dates,
Right.
then nobody can
complain. Make that Doug's
So
decision.
check with Doug first,
Right.
as to whether we waive it.
Even though it's December, if Doug says, look, there's no frost on the ground. So,
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
My suggestion is go December, January, February, March. It's 4 months. We're a 4-season state.
Good point.
The chance of there being a heavy frost on the ground in November is probably pretty minimal. I mean, us deer hunters like to have a little snow on the ground November 15th, but, you know, that doesn't always happen. But, that doesn't mean the ground's froze. So if we just take those 4 months to start out with and get her down for now, and we can always adapt it.
Think that makes sense?
Yeah, okay. What do you think, Kelly?
We'll just put something in there contingent upon grave digger's approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he wants to dig something in tough, difficult conditions, let him do it. My guess is he's not going to want to, but
He's usually willing.
Part of
It's
it's
just-
the family's adamant about,
Right.
you know, getting it done.
Put this back.
I can tell you I worked at cemetery down in Big Rapids for 6 months and I never experienced a winter burial. We did have bodies stacked up in a building waiting for conditions to improve. Well, they were in coffins, they were. I'm sorry if I'm being morbid, but that's the way it
Well, okay, wonderful. So what we'll do is we'll put December through March as defined as summer months, but it's contingent upon the grave digger's approval. And so we'll write that in there and clarify that, move forward. And we'll do that, we'll put that in and we'll say, we'll put that in and if we approve if we put this in, we'll approve 25-3. How's that? That makes sense. So adoption of 25-3 with the addition of December through March as identified as winter months, contingent upon grave digger's approval. And we'll put that in there, we'll write that in there. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay, can I get a vote? Looking for a vote.
Rebo, yes. McFarland.
yes.
Cushway.
Yes.
Meads.
Yes.
Thorne.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, 25-3 is passed. Thank you very much, Board. That brings us to our last labor. That would be the resolution 25-4. That's the sewer fund, non-administrative operational maintenance fees, casual full-time labor 17.15, and then heavy labor 23.55 an hour. And I think we already said that we're going to raise it. I'm sorry, raise the general.
Yeah. I make the motion to approve resolution 25-4.
I'll second.
Okay, first and second, any further discussion? No further discussion, we can vote.
Meads.
Yes.
Cushway.
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Thorne.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. We have now adopted our resolutions. Thank you very much. 1 through 4. 2025, 1 through 4. Thank you. Final resolution that we have here. Oh, yeah, we got that new business. Thank you. I mean, Tom's on the roll. He's on the roll. Okay. Old business is the road commission contract. If you take a look at your packets.
I didn't put it in the packet because I put it in the packet twice already. So we've already talked about it. We just need to approve whether we're doing 1 brine or 2 brines, which Jill called the road commission, I believe, and spoke to someone, and they said we could just approve, we could approve 2
And just do one.
And just do the one.
decide to just do 1 later.
Yes.
Take 1 off later if we want to, because they don't like brine.
And that was a hold up last time.
Yes.
All right, so if you,
So-
let me see
Are
this.
we gonna come back to the -5?
That's going to be a new business.
That's going to be new business.
Okay.
That's just the Brian contract. I want the board to take a quick look at trustees. So we're not committed to 1. Or we're not committed
We're
to
not
2
committed
of
to
them.
2.
So we can back off if needed. And if you guys have, when you're done, Jeff will throw it down this way.
Okay, 8960.
It went up a bit this year, but. Move it higher. Okay. So a motion to approve 2 brines at this point in time for the option to cancel 1.
I move.
Okay, Jeff moves first.
Second.
Second moved by Ross. Any further discussion?
How easy will it be to cancel, and when will we do that if we decide we only want 1?
Call
We
and
would just
cancel.
call and
cancel.
cancel.
Once we decide.
We can, yeah.
Yeah, decide first, then call.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard, in my mind, it's hard to do, it's hard to figure that, because if it's gonna keep, the wind's gonna keep blowing, it's gonna keep drying those roads out, and we don't get a lot of rain in the spring, then we're gonna have to.
Take a look at it as it's needed.
Yeah, as needed, so. Any further discussion? Move to vote?
No, we're not gonna be in quote-unquote hot water with the county road commission if we just
No.
cancel.
We called and asked.
Okay.
Okay. For vote?
They're planning their budgets and stuff for the year, and we submitted this, and I think
Yeah.
Okay.
They were all set, though. Okay.
Thorne,
yes.
Needs,
Yes.
Cushway,
Yes?
McFarland.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Walsh,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes.
Approved.
Okay.
Oh, I do need to get everybody's signature. on it,
Yeah.
I think.
So I don't have to
I
worry.
need 2 trustees. So I don't, which trustees want to sign?
Do one from the left and one from the
One
right.
from the left and one from the right. You guys want to
It's a split party. Bipartisan effort. Okay, while he's doing that, I want to bring up the last order of old business, and that's the planning commission vacancy. And I believe that Rob Henderson is going to fill that vacancy, if he's interested in doing that. He's been with the board, kind of got into it, and so thank you for stepping back up again, Rob. I almost called you Rob. Hey! Welcome back. Okay. So I'd like the board to approve Rob Henry's vacancy for our planning commission. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
We got the twins down there.
Yeah. Okay, any further discussion, Rob? Kind of a shady guy.
I heard.
Okay, no other further discussion, I move for a vote.
McFarland.
Yes.
Needs.
Yes.
Cushwick.
Yes.
Rebo, no. Thorne.
Yes.
Walsh. Cruz.
Yes. Motion carries. Welcome aboard again, Rob. Appreciate it, thank you. All right. New business, 25-26 budget amendments, rather. And that would bring us to our resolution 2025-05.
That probably doesn't fit into any particular item, but yesterday you made the comment that you didn't know how much the Charlie Brown Park was being used down there. Well, there was someone in the park when we left yesterday, and these pictures are about a half hour old. There was somebody in there using it again. So I just want to make the board, I'll leave these with you.
Yeah, thanks, I appreciate it.
That it is being used. And when you said you didn't know what to do on it, it kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit, because I maintained the Charlie Brown Park as far as mowing, as far as putting in 92 of the 96 posts that are there, all without a cost to Green Township. My mower, my gasoline, my time was all volunteered for the township. It wasn't until I had surgery and I felt I couldn't get on the tractor that I came to the board, and that's when they started picking up the cost of mowing and doing that. So I just want to make the point that it is being used by the people down there. It's not just Green Haven, because there's Green Haven 1, Green Haven 2, there's Northland, Northland Estates, I think, or something like that. Burgessbury area. There's actually about 5 subdivided platted areas down there that use that park. And it is something that does need to be maintained. The roof that's over the sandbox, I built and put up, and that was without cost to the township for the materials and my labor. So I had quite a bit involved in that park, and I think it should be maintained for the subdivision.
Would you say improved? Improved, right?
It could be improved some, but you have to keep in mind the swing and other equipment down there is probably close to 50 years old.
Still good shape though.
And the fact is, if you change it, then you have to meet current specifications, and they're a little harder to meet and more expensive. So
I would say add to it. You know, I wouldn't go for anything. I know we're off the top of the board. I'm sorry about this, but I'm glad you came down here to speak. I didn't mean to ruffle your feathers. I was kind of misunderstood. I'd like to see the township invest in that park.
Well, we've replaced like chains on the swing, that kind of thing. They are done for safety. But as far as changing the park, the roof needs to be replaced over that sandbox. It's just getting rotted. And if you do that, you're probably better off to go with a wood and shingle roof than to go to metal, because kids do climb on it. And I wouldn't want somebody to cut their leg open on the metal roof. So, you know, it doesn't need to be made greatly better, it just needs to be improved. Sure. To the point it holds up.
Well, thanks for coming here and talking to the board about it, because, yeah, I'm right with you on that, for sure. You know, I gave a bid packet out there. We have Charlie Brown in that bid packet. Take a look at it. Let me know if you can see anything that needs to be added in that too, or omit it, and then just get back with me later on. Thanks very much.
I don't need to be notified, it just needs to be done. I mean,
oh no, I'm just looking for input, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate when we talk.
Sure, no, thank you.
Jim, sounds like you're knowledgeable on that. Does that actually belong to the township? Is it township property?
It's actually road commission property that the township leases, last I knew, for $1 a year. So
$1 for 20 years, I think, Jim.
$1, is that
$1 for a 20-year period.
Oh, is it that long?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's
not as bad as you thought.
Yeah, it's I I guess when I see kids like, you have the pictures, you know, that young over there, you'll see families over there playing on the ballpark. It's not big enough to be an actual ballpark as far as specifications for softball, but they play on it anyway. There's a lot of kids that learn how to swing a bat and do other things on it, so it's just a good community place.
If it'll put your mind at ease, Mr. Pete, Charlie Brown Park is included in the mowing and ground maintenance bid packet. I don't think we had any intention of, abandoning that.
No, I don't believe that the supervisor said he was going to abandon it. He just didn't think it was being used. And when we left yesterday, we were down there, it was being used, and then tonight it was being used, and that's where we put the pictures.
Thank you.
I guess when you're there, we used to live right across the street from it, then you see kids using it and more things being done. And occasionally I chased some teenagers out of there that were just using the park. I mean, I went over and they said, well, who are you? And I told them who I was. And they said, what are you going to do? And I said, if you don't straighten up, I'll call the sheriff department. That's what I'll do. So, I wasn't threatening them with something unreasonable. I just wanted to maintain what was there. And we even had some adults come in there and use the basketball event because they claimed they couldn't get into Paris without a fee. I said, we were welcome to come out here. So we had maybe 6, 8 cars parked out there, and a bunch of adults, 50, 45, 50, 30 years old, playing basketball. So,
thank you.
it's used by the community.
Jim, I just bring back memory, the first 10 years that we lived here, we lived in a small house right next to Green Haven subdivision, and we actually held for a few years in the summer an outdoor vacation Bible school at Church Park. We did it for a week-long deal. We called them Backyard Bible Club. And it was basically an outdoor version of VBS, and it was a very nice location and size and stuff, with the neighborhood. And I know neighborhoods change, they get older and kind of come in. So that just brings back fond memories that we had there.
I usually think I'd be paid for my grandchildren, but now they're through college, so they don't use it anymore.
Well, thanks for the input.
That gal with her 4 children came from 18 Mile Road, so they had to walk back to 18 Mile Road. That's kind of funny.
But that's, again, kind of part of the subdivision. If you look at the north side of 18 Mile Road, it's part of the platted area down there.
Yeah.
So it's being used, that's all I'm...
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so back on to our budget amendment matter for the 24-25 budget, not the new budget, but the old budget. We have a couple of we have some resolution here for an amendment, rather. Boys, put it out first. And if you turn the page, you'll see the breakout of the amendments and what we have to do. What we're going to subtract, which account we're going to subtract from, and then where we're going to put the money into, the account we're going to put the money into. And just to get us through the end of the year here, so this would be our last, or should be our last big amendment for this fiscal year. So I would like to look for a motion to approve Resolution 2025-05, budget resolution for amendments. Can I get a first?
We got 20.
Jeff moves.
5.
Get a second?
Seconded.
Second, any discussion? No discussion? Move for a vote?
Thorne,
Yes.
Meads,
Yes.
Cushway,
Yes.
McFarland,
Yes.
Rebo, yes, Walsh,
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, motion carries. We will do the resolution. We will do the amendments for it. Thank you very much. Still on new business. We're going to skip number 2. We're coming back to that next meeting. So that would be, this is just an update. We'll be renewing our interim zoning ordinance next meeting, just so everybody has an update on that. It's getting about that time. And then that brings us to number 3, just MTA conference. We want to double check with the board on who plans on going to the MTA conference. And we have to approve and pay for it, so we have to do so. So Kelly, you're going to go.
Yes.
And then Jeff, you're going. And then you thinking or?
Hearing from Kelly and Linda before on that conference, it sounds like it's a great conference. Unfortunately, because it's during the day, I will not be able to go.
Yeah.
There is an online, there is a conference on demand only, which I would like to get. It's not going to be available till May, but it's going to be all of the classes.
Sessions?
So I thought I would get that, and then we can probably just share it and give you access to it or whatever. So
I would love to do that.
Okay.
Scott, you're really thinking there. What do you think?
No, I didn't know that existed. I just taken it in, but no, I plan on attending, yes.
Okay.
Are you going for the main conference from April 1st through the 3rd?
Okay. All right.
I'll probably be driving, but I will be attending, yes.
Jill?
I'm gonna do the video with Corey.
And do the video, so you two are doing videos? Okay.
So we need to, already paid.
We'll do it not to exceed. How's that? Let's do it not to
And
exceed.
if we can, and if I think from what I've heard, it's well worth it. If we end up having to pay for 3 videos, I still think it's worth it. If you buy one, that's great.
I'll put 2 on there, so not to exceed 1525. That would be 3 main conferences and 2 videos, but we may only do 1 schedule.
Just go round it to 16, because we won't get there anyways, but just round it to 16. Okay? Okay, so let's do a...
Include mileage in that, or is that just considered?
If we do 16, then.
Yeah, you better, good point. Let's throw 18 on there, because that would be more accurate than last year. Okay. So let's do a looking for a motion to not exceed $1,800 for training for the MTA conference for the board. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we budget for the board to attend the MTA conference not to exceed $1,800.
Beautiful. Second?
Second.
Jeff seconds. Any further discussion? No further discussion. Move for vote.
Needs?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Pushway?
Yes.
McFarland?
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Walsh?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes. Okay, thank you, board. That takes care of MTA conference.
Does that mean I can go by the Amway grant now, or?
Oh, you would.
You're paying for it?
They're booked.
There's gonna be no money left.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, of the years that I served on Green Township, I went to, not all of them, but some of them, and many times the topics are good to attend, but you gain as much in talking to other township officials that are there as you will with some of the overall conference. So I would highly recommend you attend it when you can, because you pick up some information that you wouldn't get here.
Sure.
So they are very good. They're not wasteful.
Well, that's true too. It seems that I've heard it also put that all the business is really done in the afternoon at the mixers, you know. So it's like everybody gets to meet and greet and get to know each other. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Spring cleanup date. We need to lock a date down for spring cleanup. And
Mother's Day weekend is, Mother's Day is the 11th, so I don't know. I know last year we tried to avoid Mother's Day weekend.
Rob Anderson has decided, he's already told me that he wants to have load dumpsters. And he will only come if it rains.
Perfect.
What did you say about the 11th?
The 11th is Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Which is a Sunday.
Yeah,
But
if you're doing it on a Saturday,
I know
Mother's
we-
Day weekend, if
Right.
it shows that weekend.
Right. Last year, I just remember we tried to avoid Mother's Day weekend, so that's why I'm saying it.
Do you want to push it off a week and do it on the 24th?
When's that holiday? When's that holiday?
Memorial Day is the 26th.
We better push it back to the 10th.
Yeah, Memorial Day.
You want to push it back to the 10th?
Memorial Day is the
Why not?
27th.
Isn't the 10th the day before Mother's Day?
That's
What
a
about
good
the 17th?
17th, there's no holiday around that.
There's no holiday there.
Jane says the 17th. I like Jane's recommendation. I don't know. I'll go with the 17th.
I think that's the weekend we did it last year. It was a different day, but I think it was that weekend.
Third weekend in
I
May.
think so.
Yeah.
In Mississippi.
You're going to be Mississippi?
Yeah, my brother's got it. I'll be gone that preceding week. 10th would be the only time that I can do it. But I'm going to do it because of me. 17th.
Oh, we want you to be there.
Yeah, I checked everybody in last year.
Yeah,
In the rain.
in the rain.
In the rain, in the cold rain.
Whichever day we pick, it is going to rain.
Horrible weekend for the.
Yeah. Got to meet a lot of people. 17th, is that what's next week?
Does anybody have any?
That's fine.
17th?
Sounds good.
All right, 17th it is. I'm looking for a motion to approve the 17th of May for our garbage day.
So moved.
Spring cleanup.
Spring cleanup.
Okay.
Needs motions?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? None? Okay, if no other further discussion, we can vote.
Needs?
Yes.
Thorne?
Yes.
Cushway?
Yes.
McFarland?
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Walsh?
Yes.
Cruz?
Yes. Okay, motion carries. We approve the 17th of May for spring cleanup. Okay, next, last of the new businesses in the Costa County Conservation District. They have hazardous waste pickup, and last year we donated, I think it was $500 to the
It was,
No.
it was 1,500.
And we're not doing that.
No, we can't. No.
According to the Pioneer, we don't have money to be thrown out.
No, Pioneer said that, made it very clear that we're in the red. Yeah, we're in the red. So,
I think they'll be well, let's discuss it if someone makes a motion.
okay, can somebody make a motion to support the Costa County Conservation? Let's do that.
For what dollar amount?
No.
They are asking for, if you go to the back of the last page, is 1,560 is what they're estimating off of 2024
15
data.
is what we had.
Actually, they are requesting 1,500, sorry.
Okay,
They
that's
said
what
that they spent 1,560 last year, so they're
On
requesting.
yes, on township residents.
Yes. So they're requesting 1,500 again this year, which is what we donated last year.
It just would be nice if they had a report for us, you know?
Well, that is their report.
Yeah, that's their
That is
report.
their
I
report.
know, it's
This
kind
is
of
what
a
they,
It's kind of a weak report. But I guess
So the
it's,
same young lady was here last year.
yeah.
Okay, but she's still the same.
yes.
What do you want to give them? Yeah, that's the thing.
Is that just for the township, Green Township?
It's for Macasta, I think they do Osceola County too, but I don't know, I can't remember if they do it at that same location or if they have a separate one. So it's
They do
for-
their separately, I believe.
Okay, so they have everyone in Macasta County can come to it. So they ask each township for a donation to help offset the cost because they don't.
Is there a precedent in the past of what you did?
Yes, last year it was 1,500, the year before it was close to that, I
Yeah, it was
believe.
like, yeah, it was 12, I think, or 1,000 or 12, I can't remember exactly, but they were looking to, we had been in arrears on it because they serviced more of our people.
Oh, the contribution, and then
Yeah.
sure, how the career.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you know, from what they were saying, they serviced a lot. So they want us to catch up, is what they're really trying to state.
It wasn't catch up, they were hoping to cover the costs and it continued to be
Well, sure.
that much.
Well,
Mentions in the letter that the cost to dispose of the stuff was $42,678 last year. I'm a little shocked that only 13 households participated from Green Charter Township last year. But I guess I'd a whole lot rather pay to have the stuff disposed of than people dumping it on their property.
Disposed of property.
Yeah.
Because they take things that we don't take at our.
And I think last year was at Chip Hills, and so they thought maybe that was a reason why so many people went
Gotcha.
pretty far.
Okay.
And I'm not saying we don't give any money, I just don't know that we do 1,500.
I say continue to support with a smaller amount of money, $250, and if things look better in the township in the coming years, we can get back up to where we were.
Kelly says 250, anybody else?
I'd like to see it stay at the 1,500 for what it does do for the environment. It's a pretty good return on your investment.
Do we have a happy medium?
Well, then you're gonna say give them 1,500, that's what you're gonna say.
Hey, Scott.
I can vote now.
Huh?
I can vote now.
Well, let's run a vote on it. Stay with the 1,500. Let's run it through the board and let's see what the board says for 1,500. And then if the board says no, then we can renegotiate. Or you want to talk about it some more? Okay, we can talk about it.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Is it something that if it's not a certain amount, they don't do it, or
No.
they do it regardless?
No, they do it regardless.
They're just hoping we will help
Yes,
them recoup their costs.
Right.
yes.
Our residents using their hazardous waste disposal.
And we gave them the maximum last year.
Last year.
So what if we did half?
That's what I was going to recommend.
What if we did half?
This year? Because we're
And
living,
then we can go back to the 1,500 next year.
we've got all kinds of challenges. So we do have it. And then we can.
Yeah, but this is a discretionary expense. We don't have to spend the money.
That's correct.
And if we don't have the money, maybe we shouldn't be spending it.
The question is like, who covers it? Who
Well, they get money from all over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do it regardless of what we contribute.
We have people that have so much blight on their property, pay some more into it, and then those others that don't.
That would probably be up to them if they wanted to make a donation, which they probably don't want to,
I would
but.
use blight to recycle right
Does anyone want to do half?
I would be up for half, see if any less than what we did.
Yeah. I'll go half, make it something.
Okay, so do we want to vote on 750?
Feel like an option.
I feel like you.
Do I get meat?
Scott wants 1,500, Kelly wants 250, I hear 3 people saying 750. What do you say, Ross?
Ross is the
Are you the tiebreaker?
750 is better than,
250?
yeah, so I'd go for the 750.
Okay.
Imagine the deal.
Tighten our belt.
Yeah, well, just for every time, you gotta tighten your belt. So let's, is there any further discussion on it? Oh, jeez, I see we got lots of moments and not motion. So we have to get a motion. Can I get a motion for, to support the household hazardous waste disposal program for $750?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I got a first from Jeff.
I'm going to second it.
Second from Jillian. Any further discussion? No further discussion, let's move to vote.
Thorne.
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Bushwhack.
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes.
Needs.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Cruz.
I still think it should be more.
Cruz.
Yes, okay. Motion carries for 750.
You could have voted no.
Yeah, you could vote.
Oh, my.
No, but that's
No.
okay.
Okay, so motion carries. We'll support them for $750. Thank you very much, board. That brings us to financial. We need to approve the monthly checks. Do I hear a motion to approve the monthly checks? Need a motion?
I have a motion to approve the monthly checks.
Okay, I have a motion from Jill. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second from Kelly. Any further discussion on approving the monthly checks? Pioneer Group dug into us a little bit this time too.
Well, we had notices that
I'm
had
just
to be
saying.
printed. Just
But-
getting some clarification.
I'm just
But
saying.
notice how much less we spent on our W-2s.
Yes, yes, like. Thousands.
Okay, if there's no further comment or discussion on that motion, I'd like to move for a vote to approve the monthly checks.
Walsh.
Yes.
Bushwhack.
Yes.
McFarland.
Yes.
Needs.
Yes.
Rebo, yes. Thorne.
Yes.
Cruz.
Yes. Okay, thank you, board. Motion carries. We approve the monthly checks. That brings us to our last public comment of the night. Any further public comment?
Hey,
Sure. Come on.
I just have a question. Can you put the budget from those 24, 25, the final one?
Yes.
And the new one for next year? Can you put them on the website?
Yeah, absolutely. Now that we got it all approved, we're going to go put it
All
up
right,
there.
thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks. Okay. Any further?
Why are we going back to the 2023 wages? I mean, other than trying to save money, but that never was brought up before any meeting.
Yeah, it's just we went back, instead of moving more stuff around to make sure that our budget is where it needs to be, we wanted to make sure we just want to make sure we have our wages in check. Now, Rod, the other night when he was talking, he didn't mention it, but we had our conversations, he wanted us to take raises, he wants us to both scale. And last year we just decided we weren't going to take a raise. We were looking at different ways of kind of cutting that whole thing down, as far as maybe looking back, but he frowned against that big time. So instead of moving back, we're just going to keep it where it's at. No real big reason to do it, other than we wanted to just get this next year solidified and then push it forward.
You mentioned several times that you were going back to the previous boards.
Yeah.
So is that not what you were doing the year before this?
It was.
It
We didn't
was.
change anything.
Oh, we didn't change.
Yeah, we didn't change the board salaries last year either, so they've been consistently
The same.
Yeah, last year we raised the hourly wages for election workers and all that type of stuff, but our board salaries didn't change, and they didn't change this year either.
There's a little bit of confusion because we were moving our salaries out of the sewer fund for the supervisor and the clerk, and we were called out and said that we were giving ourselves raises. It looked that way, but it wasn't. It was just moving the money into that budget. But now it's spread out where it was previously. So that's it. And that came from Rod. Rod wanted us to get back in that group and do that. But yeah, that's it. Nothing major. Any other
I just want to thank the board for listening to me. I know I wasn't on the agenda, but I wanted to bring it to your attention after we took the photos tonight. Let you know that it is being used, and while I won't be playing on the swings,
Oh, yeah, there is a young gal that's like 14 or 15 that goes over, no matter if it's raining, snowing, or ice or whatever, she is swinging on that swing every day.
I've seen her over there.
Yeah.
It's amazing, she's just.
Well, she comes from around the corner.
Oh.
Okay, before we adjourn, I would like to just acknowledge and express our condolences to Kelly, whose mother passed away on February 15th at the wonderful age of 93?
91.
91.
Thank you.
Long time resident. Kelly, you've been really up against it. I've never seen anybody go through as much as you have lately in the past years, so I appreciate you personally staying on and contributing like you have. Thank you. There's been a lot of stuff that you've gone through also, so behind the scenes. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. No other further comments? I look for adjournment.
I motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second. Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate it.